Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. It's Zero Quirks Legends Gaming, Black Desert Mobile. Welcome, welcome in. Happy Monday night. Hey there, Dub. Thank you for the 2-year sub. Wow. Welcome in, Weapon. Two years of streaming, yeah. What's up, War Child? Okay, let's see. All right, announcement first. Trials of Ator Elite reset tonight. So, if you have not finished all of your Trials of Ator, like I have not, tonight's the night to do it. Because this will reset and then you will be able to get the rewards again. So, looks like I'll be pushing some Trials of Ator. Okay, and good to send them back out. Send my tower people back out. How many accessories have I awakened? Absolutely zero. Because for most of last week I've been away for a wedding. Not to mention I'm nowhere near close to having enough void eyes to awaken any anyways. But I think you might have missed it, Weapon, but last week, a week ago, I burned through 1.5 trillion silver. And I got 2+9s. Cost you 4.5 trillion. So, I mean, it took me a long time and a lot of selling. in order to even just get 1.5 trillion. Like, I have a feeling it's gonna take me Obsidian's been popping flute nonstop. Well, good for you, good for them. Um, I mean, I actually got myself some white pearls so that I could pop some flutes. But ultimately, like, what I'm realizing is I'm just gonna, you know, take it slow, get the weekly ones, get the monthly ones, right? Get lucky and get, you know, get a few using some hot time, right? But ultimately, like, it's really expensive, so it's like just gotta be patient. 8 hours, you have 12 void eyes. I mean, that's um that's pretty good return rate for farm time. So either they've buffed the drop rate or you're just really super lucky. I mean, I would peg you as lucky. I have a bad feeling about this instance. Points are already high for it being under 5 minutes. Okay, so what is coming in the update tonight? The big thing is the Trials of Ator Elite reset. So after Black Sun, since we don't have Node War, I will be trying to finish my Trials of Ator Elite. Number two, they're going to start allowing more things on the market. Dim frags, Tears of the Goddess, luminescent crystals, and awakening ascension skill books as well. So the hope is that for those of us that have a lot of those materials, though dim frags are still they'll need a ton of dim frags, right? So what we might be able to do is buy dim frags from people who are slowing down on their enchantments. And awakening ascension skill books, that'll be really nice way to get silver. You get 3 void eyes every hour, Warchild. That's a really good return. Oh, Lotus Primrose is gonna be OP. So Warchild, are you gonna switch back? Which class have the strongest combo? I mean, still not convinced that anything other than Berserker. I have a feeling Berserker is still the Her Majesty. Which class is going to have the strongest combo? I'm guessing you mean with the succession skills. It's going to be really hard to say anything other than Berserker still, because the skill that they're getting from Gladiator just is just kind of ridiculous. Though there will be some new I think there will be some new combinations. It'd be really nice to see like a full list of what skills are going to be transferring. But then again, I mean, part of it is they probably want people to discover it. But considering Berserker's base combo is just really OP, like the addition of Gladiator's skill as a succession skill, for the additional damage that you can get, um, I mean, hard pressed to say anything other than Berserker. Yeah, so they should be getting the succession skills tonight, right? I can't remember whether it was this week or next week that was on their schedule for them. Because I think ours was at the end of the month on the 29th. Um, I'm trying to think. Like some of the combos that I'm interested in seeing is like Sage and Legatus, seeing what skills cross over there. I mean Lotus Primrose, like with the way they stack the elemental debuffs, and without a way of, I mean, since we still do not have a way of clearing debuffs, um, Primrose with their attack speed is just gonna be hell. Um, and I think, see, but here's the thing, right? It basically cost me 1.5 trillion silver plus about 600 to 700 pages and acrads, not acrads, pages and lapis to make it to 58K. Okay. Finishing my +9s is going to be ridiculously expensive, right? So if I was lucky, right, and Dub said it took him 4.5 trillion silver to get his necklace. Okay. It took me about a month to farm up 1.5 trillion silver. That includes selling jewels. Okay. But now with Accessory Awakening, I can't afford to sell jewels anymore. I need to keep them. Good job, Stream Elements. You are about 30 minutes late. um, let's say worst case scenario, it's going to cost me about, twice as much for the rest of my accessories. Hey there, Elridge. Ah, did not lose points. It's been so long after your last stream. It's been a week. It's been a week. Yeah. Normally I do Wednesdays, but because I flew to a wedding on Thursday and I realized I was just not quite ready to go. Um, I needed to get ready to go. And that wedding was really important because wedding was between two members of my guild that got married. And if you missed last week's stream, which I don't remember you being here last week, and you missed a hell of a stream last Monday. uh yeah, you did not miss a stream. I'll tell you guys all about my trip to San Diego. Let me go ahead and get this all back up. All right, so um, so I canceled my Wednesday stream last week, and Thursday morning I flew out to the left coast for a wedding, and it's a wedding that I have been waiting for a really, really long time. And it was such an honor to be invited. I was so glad I was able to go and make it. Rinith is a player that joined Legend Gaming in February of 2020. He joined right before the pandemic started. Basically, he joined in February of 2020, and then I took over as guild master in March of well, no, I took over in May, but basically in March we had a guild master shift, where it went from Willow to Crisis. He took over in March, and uh, at that point, uh, basically, I was running a lot of this things because Crisis made me an officer, and like I take leadership very seriously, so I started doing a lot of the organizational things. And then by May, Crisis had quit, and then I had officially taken over. So Rinith joined really early on. Before I even took over as GM. Miss K joined Legend Gaming in June of 2020. So this was after I had officially taken over as GM, and she was one of the first classes of players that we recruited with me as being the GM. Officially being the GM. So basically, like they have been with this guild for forever. It was it was later on in that summer when I asked Rinith to be an officer for the guild, and so Rinith was involved with a lot of the decision making and the events and things like that. And I think it was sometime early in 2021. He sent me a message. He's like, "So I did a thing. Um, I mean, this was in the middle of a pandemic, so of course what happens is like we're playing this game, and so we end up like talking to each other a lot more, right? So uh because um there are a lot of West Coast players. Rinith and Miss K are two of our West Coast players. And apparently they started talking, and then he's like, so I did a thing. I went down and I visited um Miss K and Parks Flew. So that was 3 years ago, right? Um, let's just say, like, if you're like me and you've been playing games for a while and you've played MMOs for a while, yeah, of course you're going to meet people, right? Probably going to like people, but the probability of meeting somebody online um, in a game uh, where it turns into something is really, really slim, right? So he's like, I did a thing, and he let me know because he didn't want it to cause drama in the guild. And I mean, like for those of you that remember how toxic Io was back in that time, um, this was when Stark was still king. Defiance had not taken off. Basically, like all of the other guilds, um, top guilds, I can't remember. I mean, there was BXS, Death Squad. Oh my god, I can't remember some of these names. I don't know why. Anyways, but like all of the other guilds, top guilds other than like Stark, were just kind of battling each other, and so there was um a lot of toxicity between guilds. And yeah, I'm on Americas. So for one thing, like over the course of time, like we were careful about the people that we were recruiting because I mean, I didn't want us to be a competitive guild because um that would have meant that I would have had to be an asshole, and I don't like being an asshole. So I said we will be balanced. We will focus on Node War, like, and like we started like a relationship with other up and coming guilds so that we were all kind of on the same page, and so that they knew kind of what we were about, right? So like declaring on us was kind of useless because my stance was guild wars, GVGs don't get me anything. They don't get my guild anything. It's just, like it's just it's just wallet flexing. That's basically what it was. And I was like at that point in time, I had a guild full of like mostly free to play players. So I was like, yeah, I don't need that. So uh so they started the relationship, and we were able to, like, and it was okay. Like it um didn't really cause drama. Now, not every relationship is perfect. I will say that I'm not a perfect partner in my relationship either. Um, every relationship has its ups and downs, and basically, like one of the things, the last things I promised as a GM, I promised them that if they ever got to the point where they decided that they were ready to make that step and get married, I promised them that I would make it out there to be there for them. Like, didn't like that was my promise. And if they decided to take the step, then I will make it there. Like I didn't care like what it would, how difficult it would be, or how, like, didn't matter. Because I mean, let's face it, like, they met through the game, through the guild, through the pandemic, right? And to come through it all on the other side, get to the point of being able to say, okay, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I'm like, I got to be a witness to their journey. And I mean, I also spent some time in helping navigate some sensitive times and sensitive areas. And so it was it's interesting. Um, my wife says, like, when I was the GM, like I would be like less the guild master and more the guild counselor, because and Opal would roll her eyes because I spent a lot of time talking, with challenging people in hopes of talking through whatever the difficulties were, instead of what a lot of other top guilds were doing, which is just booting them and then moving on. And a lot of it is because, as I said, like, I didn't want to be seen as an asshole. Like, I wanted the reputation, my reputation, which would be reflective of the reputation of the guild, to be that of, we're here to have fun, we will do our best, and we will play, and we will be good sports about it. Um, like, does it suck to lose? Sure, but if we're losing and we're losing for a good reason, okay. Like, I'm okay with that. If we're losing because, like, I had like bad tactical awareness, then that's my fault. Then I take responsibility for that loss, right? And then I would need to improve. So I think it's one of those things, having witnessed their personal growth, um individually and as a couple. And when they invited, me to come to their wedding, I was like, I promised we'll be there. Declares for entertainment, yeah. Yep. I mean, it right now it's straight out wallet flexing. So this past week, so a week ago, of course, I got my 2+9s, which felt really, really awesome. And I was gonna, and we as a family, we were all going to fly out on Thursday. It just felt like had too much going on. So I canceled my Wednesday stream. We flew out Thursday. Now, flying out west, um, the flights are longer. And you know how they say, like, you know, kids should be limited to about 2 hours of screen time per day? Well, fuck that. It's like, nope, on a plane, like, here you go, iPad, you watch whatever. Like, let's make sure that you're happy and whatever. Now, the thing is that this was also his first flight. right? So there's a lot of apprehension about like, oh, is it going to be scary? I've never flown before. We're going to be so high up, um, and so it was like, yeah, well, it can be scary, but also, you'll get to watch a lot of TV, so I think you'll be okay. 2 hours of not screen time. Yeah. So, um, I did get video of him reacting to his first takeoff, and I mean, it's just golden. Just his reaction is just golden. It's just so beautiful. Just raw excitement. Like he's like in kind of that wonder. Um, but then of course once we got into this guy, right? Like then he started watching things, and then it didn't really matter until it was time to land, right? And then again, once again, time to land could also be a potential point because it can be kind of rocky landing. But no, he opened up the windows like, wow, we're getting close, and was just like lots of excitement. Um, and in the end, like I think he got caught up in more of the excitement of it all and less about the fear of being high up and everything. It was really, really good, and it was a nice experience. Yes. We had told the flight crew that it was his first flight, and um, like any parent and most flight crews are very well aware of. Uh-oh. Um, so we had let flight crew know, and I think that I mean, it was a really, really full flight, so the flight crew, um, uh, they really weren't able to like. Because a lot of times they like spend a little bit of extra time and energy, like oh, making it like fun for the kid, right? Um, and and it was fine. Once again, we had a tablet, so the kid was okay. But we get off the plane, and like as we're exiting the plane, like I gave my son, I was like, high five, first flight, way to go, right? And he gives me a high five back. And then as we're walking toward to the baggage claim, um, the person in a pilot's uniform came up and he said, "Hey, did I hear you say that this was his first flight?" I was like, "Yeah, it was his first flight." And he was like, "Hi, I was the pilot for that flight. And for his first flight, I wanted to give him something to commemorate it." And he gave my son um wings for his first flight, and had to pin it on himself. And so, um, for that gesture, like like when you're a kid and somebody asks you, what do you want to be when you grow up, right? Like one of the it's like fire person, a pilot, an astronaut, right? Like all of those things, like that seem like big and exciting, doing things that are amazing, right? And here's a pilot who just took a moment out of his day and gave my kid, you know, wings. And that was really, really awesome. Just the, just you look on his face of like, wow. Um, so definitely was a good first flight for him. And it was a good experience for us in seeing how he was able to handle it, um and the flight back was it was easy too. But we were only out there for a few days. We flew out on Thursday, we flew back on yesterday. Because we wanted to make sure we had today to kind of try to reset the body clock, because I mean 3 hours difference is quite a bit. Um uh I think the first morning I woke up at like 3 o'clock thinking it was 6 and feeling hungry. uh Luckily, like, um I'd made sure that my kid ate like a nice dinner like later than he normally would to try to avoid that, but he was still up before 6 o'clock. He was like, I'm hungry. So um Friday was the wedding. It was beautiful, it was wonderful. um that was all of Friday. And so we took Saturday as a day to kind of do something for ourselves as a family. And so we went to Legoland. Um and okay, it has been years since I've been to a theme park. Um and like definitely like Legoland, I think Legoland turned 20 20 or 25 years old this year. So it's a fairly new design. And one of the things that I a lot more thought placed into kind of the overall like theme park experience, especially for parents of young kids. And I say that because if you've never been to Legoland, or if you have been to Legoland, you know, like in every section of the theme park, they have like an area that's just like a big playground with like one or two massive like Lego based jungle gyms. Like the biggest one was the quote ninja training ground, which had like three huge jungle gym areas with massive slides and everything, right? So like you go there, and just like every other theme park, there's lines to wait for the rides, right? And there's only so much waiting a kid is able to do. So it was nice to be able to go for a ride and then go to this like ninja training area so that the kid could just let off some steam for like 15-20 minutes. And then we could go get lunch, and then we could, you know, and overspend for RNG, right? Like there was a carnival game like knocking over the cans in order to win a prize. I tried to do that because like the the grand prize was a big ass Pikachu squishmallow. Um, that I knew my kid would love, but I decided I didn't want to spend uh the $50 for a chance at one of those. Um, though though that probably is cheaper than actually buying that massive squishmallow outright. But whatever the case may be, I decided I didn't want to quite spend that much for a chance at it. Um, but yeah, there are plenty of carnival games. Um, I mean, it was theme park food, so not healthy at all. Um, but then the other thing too is we're in San Diego, and it's close to the ocean, and my wife really loves the ocean and the beach. And so I was like, okay, let's end our day at Legoland a little early and spend, the rest of the afternoon. Let's just go to the nearest beach. Um, and like it's been almost 30 years since I've seen the Pacific Ocean. So, I mean, I see the Atlantic Ocean like every year because, well, even more than that because of where I live. But I hadn't seen the Pacific Ocean since well, actually it'll be 20 years. Yeah. Since May of 2004 when I went to San Diego. Ooh, got out. You can black sun that peaceful. Well, you're in Asia, so yeah. Good luck. Um yeah, we got really lucky with the third call. Luck isn't enough. No. It's all about that CP. But hey, I walked out with 100K. I'm happy. All right. Let me go get my one weekly. At Snowstorm Guard Camp. Giveaway. We'll start it here in a few minutes. You're slightly lucky when you AFK and Everfrost. I don't AFK and Everfrost anymore because I think there was a night when I completely forgot and used up all of my water. It was bad. Real bad. Um and I think I only got like 4 eyes for the 7 hours of water that I ended up using overnight. It was terrible. You only use 2 hours every time. Wake up two void eyes. Yeah. Well, all right. I'll start the giveaway here in about a minute. You want the seed more? Um, so because I was gone most of last week, I didn't get to try out a lot of the updates from last week, so I have not AFK'd in desert yet. Which reminds me, one of the things that I do need to do is set up a jump point in the desert. Not that I have DNA where I can jump out there, but Opal, tonight's gonna be your night. Good luck. With all these Krogdalos, it might be time to have another attempt at DNA then too. enough to for an attempt. Oh yeah. Wait, do I have enough for? All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and get the giveaway started. Exclamation point raffle to get in on it. All right, so I have enough for one chance here. All right, one more chance. Yep. All right. Time to finish out my trials. It's been so long since I've done this. Oh. All right, remember, raffle has started. Exclamation point raffle. And then I think I will call it a night for stream after the giveaway, so that I am still kind of jet lagged. Um, we'll see how many I can finish here. Nope. Yeah, got it right. Ooh, that was close. Ah, Oh, no, no, no. Yes. All right. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Exclamation point raffle. All right. I have to remember I have to separate them, huh? All right. After this attempt, we will draw. Remind me, who do I... Alright. Alright, here we go. Tonight's winner is... There you go, Opal. Tonight is your night. You're like, out there time. Alright, well, Opal. Congratulations. You won tonight's giveaway and you claimed it with a dad joke, so here you go. How does a dad flower greet his baby flower? How does a dad flower greet his baby flower? Hey, bud. It was bad. All right, one more attempt at this one. I know. Oh, I already messed it up. Ah, all right. Well, that is it for me tonight. We will see you on Wednesday for Atamak, Garmoth, and probably some Ram. Well, no, not Raminus. We'll figure out what that next part is. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good night.